Blessings, my love, and this is my offering to the divine Leo solar season that is upon us. Leo, expansive fire within all human beings. In medical astrology, Leo rules the heart and the heart chakra and is connected to the center of the sun. Leo, ruled by the sun. We are being asked to call powerful solar energy into this physical body through the heart, through the solar plexus, allowing the circulation of powerful light codes to enter the body. But you have to call the light in. You have to awaken to your disconnection to your physical body. You have to be willing to acknowledge yourself beyond the fear and the patterns of the mind and come back to the physical body. Come back into the body again and again and again until you remember who you are. We have to have demonstrations of self-nurturing at this time. We have to have demonstrations of different bodies moving and different abilities doing their self-nurturing practices. Whatever our current physical and mental abilities are at this time, we can all make an intentional choice to nurture ourselves for the greater good of all. I've been on my own awakening journey since late 2011. When I think about the time that has passed, it is almost mind-boggling, painful, and a grief process in time, for so much of my young human life has been fraught with grief and trauma and healing, and then repetitive inlays of grief and trauma that activate unhealed aspects of the self. I've spent so much time in low depressive states, self-harming states, self-destructive states, and it takes time to unwind out of that. For we waffle and we go back and forth and we go back into our addictions, and then we come out of them and we move through shame and we move through guilt, we move through rage. This human experience is about accessing and reclaiming all of the fragmented parts of ourselves. That includes coming back into this body, and how I know nothing about my own physical body. I don't know how to heal myself. I don't know what my body parts are. I don't know what my bones are. I don't even think that it's amazing that I can even move my body around until I do, until I come back to myself. And this is the power of the lion within us all, the Leo lion, heart of all, calling the light in, calling the courage to come back into this body and to connect with this body, and connecting to the parts of my body that I have historically abandoned because somebody told me there's something wrong with my body. Somebody told me that my body doesn't belong to me. And when you don't know how to respond to your own physical perception, your own sensations, your own tensions, your body just densifies and turns into a rock. And so part of your healing experience is coming closer to how you feel about your body, the lies you continue to tell yourself about your body, and what you think aesthetic pleasing is for. Did you come here to please another with your physical body, or did you come here to get to know yourself through the physical body, by connecting to the tension patterns, connecting to your biology, connecting to the bones and the joints and your ability to move without barely even considering how is it possible that I can speak, that I can see, that I can hear, that I can sense my human life in the grandeur of this depression and the self-loathing and the self-hatred. How is it possible? And if I can hate myself and want to die this much, would I be willing to nurture myself first before I leave this world? And that is the gift of Leo. That is the gift that Leo has given me, is to emancipate my inner child from the wounding stories that I continue to tell myself about my own worthiness. I give myself my worthiness back by nurturing myself and holding space for myself. And I encourage all human beings, especially human beings that do not identify as females in this life, to learn to come back into their physical body as a nurturing practice for their own inherent feminine energy. All human beings have feminine energy within us, and we have all been bred out of the idea that there is a feminine aspect of God within us. Everything is overactive masculine principles, and I have lived this way my entire life. I have had such a deep masculine energy within myself that I want to understand how to reconnect to the feminine within me. We are all masculine and feminine as one. We need to identify beyond the rigid binary into the encapsulation of the polarity of masculine and feminine energy that pervades all of nature. We are masculine and feminine as one, not the rigid binary, gender binary that has been imposed upon us for eons, but the expansive binary that allows for the presentation of all through the natural self-exploration. And so I have deep masculine principle and deep feminine principle activated within me through a nurturing practice. Deep nurturing through the physical body is how we can really connect to our higher soul self, clearing our being and clearing the body as a channel for the higher information that's trying to reach us all. It is very almost impossible for us to access our higher soul self guidance fully when our bodies are sore and tight and tense and holding deep tension in areas that we could help move. So especially if you were born with a uterus or you're in a relationship with a human with a uterus, the uterus is calling to all beings. Remember, we are all womb man born in the womb, and we all deserve to know how to connect to the uterus within the being in the body. Even if you weren't born with a uterus, we all have a proverbial womb space, holding in the pelvis, holding attention, holding a serious amount of creative power. But we are stagnant and we are turning to stone, and the body wants to return to its water air state. And so the alchemy of the fire of Leo encourages us all to connect, especially to the heart, especially to the solar plexus, which are deep physical aspects of our humanity. They're not just existential chakra concepts. They're literal physical parts of our human body that need to be touched. Come out of the mind, come back to your body, touch your children, touch your humans, touch yourself. Feel the pain along the center of the sternum. Breathing into this space, allowing for yourself to sense how much tension is at each rib point. And do you know that this rib is exactly the same rib that connects to your spine? And so if you have back pain, mid back pain, upper back pain, working into your chest will help so much. Working into your chest, you can do this every single day. What else are we doing here? Beyond distracting ourselves, beyond trying to ignore our physical body, beyond disconnecting and detaching, New Earth Revolution means we come back and we seed our life back into this body, back into this earth. We are exhausted. We are in pain. We cannot handle this any longer. Help your body heal by nurturing yourself. Refuse to turn away from yourself any longer. Touch the physical body. Open this body. Honor this body. Allow yourself to grow. Allow yourself to acknowledge how much you've hurt yourself with the way that you think about your body. Opening the channels, opening the emotion, opening the energy to move through your body, considering movement, considering that you deserve to learn to touch yourself as a practice. So many of us were born through channels of deep trauma and deep pain, deep neglect. There's addiction that is pervading us all. And you're the only one that knows what you do on the daily to ignore yourself. And I know deep down inside you desire to help yourself grow. And so will you hold yourself now? And will you bring yourself back home? And will you consider all the ways that you've been lied to and all of the lies that you tell yourself about bellies and bodies and your life and the potential of yourself on this earth, bringing yourself back home, bringing yourself into the heart, into this body, into the ability to activate through deep self-care. Leo lion power, enter into thee, enter into me. I call the light of God, Mother, Father, God into this heart, into this body, illuminating all shadows within, everything that has been hidden from me, all darkness and all potential creativities within me. Shadow work allows for us to come closer without fear. I no longer fear myself. I'm no longer afraid to die. I'm not afraid to lose anything any longer, for I've lost it all, and I'm still here, and I'm still growing, and I'm still willing to shine the fire that comes from a world beyond through this being, through this body. It belongs to us all. You belong to us all. Your self-nurturing journey is so vital and so important for us all. And so will you bring yourself back to your own heart through the power of Leo within thee, calling the light into the womb space, into the solar plexus, into the heart, through the channel of the mind, drawing this intention through the channel of the entire being in the body, calling the powerful light codes of Leo within thee, calling the powerful light codes, ancient light codes that are pouring down upon us. Absorb your own intention. Ritual is anything that you do intentionally to create change in your life. And so many addicts are creating change but going backwards. We didn't come here to go backwards. We didn't come here to be in stasis. So changing our rituals, changing the way that we approach ourselves, changing the way that we approach our minds, changing the way that we speak, changing the ways that we interact with the other and interact with this being in this body. I will no longer habitually neglect myself as an addictive process. I will no longer habitually blame the other for the reason why I cannot move on in my life. Those that have the privilege to move and to speak and to create in this life, we are being called to use that privilege now. The privilege of self-nurturing, the privilege of changing the self and not obsessing about the other. May the power of Leo move through thee on this day in all ways, in all ways. And we will return to this space. We will always return to Leo, especially through the lunar cycle. As the moon moves through Leo every month, we are given the chance to revisit these intentions. But as we are moving through the solar season of Leo and that solar energy pours down on the earth, you can rise beyond your disbelief and your apathy about this existence and this life. You are a starseed awakening. And if anything that I say resonates and makes you emotional and moves you to some sort of transformation within thee, trust that you are already on your way. Trust that you have been called. Trust that you are awakening. And there is no rush. We are perfectly on time with ourselves, and our bodies were not meant to look the same. They were not meant to be fucking rock hard. They are meant to flow. They are meant to flow like the ocean wave. So let yourself flow. Let yourself flow. Let yourself go. Let yourself flow. Let yourself go. Allow the alchemical power of Leo fire to transform your perception of yourself at this time. The Lion's Gate portal is already open. You are being called. You are being heard. You are being asked to call the light in and to activate. And affirm, I am willing to nurture myself. Affirm, I am willing to nurture myself. Affirm, I am willing to nurture myself, to activate the lion within me. I love you.